Hi, Orange Girl here with another scrapbooking process video for you. I am working with paper that I purchased from the Paper Issues store. You can use the code Orange Girl anytime there and get 20% off your order. I am doing Piece of Cake Challenge, which is over in the Paper Issues Friends and Fans group. Um, I am using these photos from my daughter's 4th birthday. So, since I decided to use these photos, I thought I would have to use Amy Tangerine's most recent collection. I believe it's called Picnic in the Park because there's all these rainbows in the collection. I really have no idea what I'm doing at this point. The only thing I knew I wanted to do was something rainbowy. I really liked the orange card there that says, "You are my happy," because I thought it fit the photos really, really well. And it's orange, which I like, and all of that. So I went ahead and cut that out of the cut apart sheet. It is 3 by 3. My photos are slightly smaller than that. Then I thought I might use this paper and do the photos on an angle. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it with my scissors because it wasn't fitting on my um, paper trimmer very well. So I was thinking at first that I kind of like that. I kind of wish I would have done that now. Oh well. Anyway, I like how mine turns out. I think you will too. So as I'm going through here, I'm just trying to determine what kind of style I want because I really had no idea of what background papers I wanted to use. I just knew I wanted to play off the idea that this cake is a rainbow cake, and so I wanted to use a rainbow. That's all I knew. So I'm going to cut some more. Now, if you know me well enough and you watch my videos, you know that I usually have a hard time cutting or gluing right away because I always end up feeling like I messed something up. Oh, I really like it with that orange. I could have used that. Anyway, so you can see at this point, I'm kind of anxious because I have now cut that beautiful striped paper and it's not working out the way that I wanted it to. But it does end up working out just fine. So I kind of fast forwarded through a lot of this because I don't end up using a lot of this. And you'll see then when I settle down um, and pick a style, then you'll see, or pick kind of a design, then you'll see me slow down the video a little bit more. So I end up going with my kind of go-to for things, especially when I have multiple photos, especially if they're small, especially if they're square. A lot of times I end up doing some sort of a grid pattern, and that is what I'll end up doing with this layout eventually. I really love pretty much all of the papers in this collection, and so that was kind of another reason why I was having a hard time choosing what I wanted to do. But I end up going with this, and you might have noticed that my clothes changed. That is because what I ended up doing is going back and forth 100 zillion times and then deciding to sleep on it. So I walked away and I came back the next day and I decided that if I put a border around the outside, that I would be very happy working with a grid pattern like this. The other thing that I did off camera is I did cut out a flower cluster I think it was actually from one of the cards. Maybe it was from paper, I can't remember. And right now it is above my card that says, "You are my happy." I don't think I end up using that. I save it in my ephemera so that I can use it on another day. So what I'm working on now is I've pulled papers from the 12 by 12s and I've pulled papers from the 6 by 8 pad, and I'm trying to put lots of layers behind my photos. And honestly, I'm working on trying to get a rainbow that's kind of going around the page. So I don't have a rainbow of color behind every single photo, but I will have a rainbow if you kind of look around the page. So I wasn't super crazy, like rule follower crazy about it. I didn't like go red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple all the way around, but I did try to make it so there wasn't red right beside each other. or green right beside each other necessarily, unless it was a completely different pattern. So I'm going through and I'm using pattern papers. I'm using some of the same squares that I cut out You Are My Happy. I'm using some, so this is, that's a card that says You Are a Peach. I don't use purple that often, and I don't think I'll ever use that card, so I just use it as a layer. Then the other thing I thought about doing, or I decided that I wanted, because I knew I wanted some messy layers. As soon as I put it in this grid pattern, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this with a bunch of messy layers behind it. I decided to put some tissue paper in between my layers. No reason other than I thought it kind of broke it up a little bit, gave it another layer, added a messy look. You'll notice that I'm also going around the page or around each of the pieces of pattern paper, and I am roughing up the edges with my distressor. So yeah, I can't remember if I put I cannot remember if I put tissue paper behind my photos also, or if it's just embedded within um, the layers. We'll have to wait and look at the end. I'll show some close-ups and you will see what I ended up doing. So for this, somehow, I'm going to give you like a kind of a heads up here. At the very, very end, I get everything pretty much set and I glue some of the stuff down. And then for some reason, my very ending didn't record. And so all I did was at that point was I glued everything down and I added a few stickers. So I have good close-ups of those so that you can kind of see, and I'll still talk you through kind of what I chose a little bit. So I went back and forth between a couple of different alphas, and I decided to go with these really big ones. These are by Simple Stories. They are, I believe, in the store right now, in the paper issue store, and they're multiple colors. I bought a lot of the colors. They're bigger, and they're only uppercase, but I love the way they look. And I decided to just go with a simple title that kind of went through the middle of my grid design that says number 4, because it's her number 4th birthday. She is making a very silly face in the first photo, which kind of goes with the idea of You Are My Happy. So that's why I put that right beside that photo. And then there's pictures of the cake below. That year, she wanted a rainbow Batman cake. That is what she was consistent about. And so her babysitter, who we just love, she was way more than a babysitter to us. She was a family member, practically. She did an in-home daycare. And so she just, I don't know, she's just awesome. Anyway, so she said, I'll make the cake. And so she did, which was really helpful because our daughter's birthday is in August, and that is when school starts for us. And so it's always extra crazy for both of us since we both work in the school system. And so it was kind of nice to have that kind of taken care of for us. So I'm going through now and I'm pulling out some stickers, and I've also typed some journaling that goes right underneath my title, and it just talks about how she wanted a rainbow Batman cake and she got one. I'm going to add a little bit of thread in several spots across the page like I usually do. And then what I'm going to do that is off camera is I am going to add a few little stickers, little tiny stickers like butterflies and flowers and all of that. And I'm going to kind of layer them a little on the photo, mostly behind the layers. And that's the part that kind of got cut out. But you'll be able to see, because the close-ups are coming up here pretty soon, you'll be able to see how they ended up looking. So there they are. So I use my paper punch to add butterflies in several locations, and then the rest are just stickers. And I really like the way this one turns out. I love the blue around the outside. It really makes it pop. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and I can't wait to see what you make next. I will see you in my next video.